for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Borio, as you mentioned in your opening, the FDA is currently considering an application for a field trial with genetically engineered mosquitoes that would take place in the Florida Keys. Can you update us on where it stands today with your agency and when you expect the Florida field trial to start? And I'm going to leap forward and attempt to save a little bit of time because we're limited. Does the FDA have sufficient legal authority to expedite the review process for this product given the current Zika emergency? And if not, what additional authorities are needed?
We do have the authorities, and we are expediting the review of this. And like I said, very soon we hope to release for public comment the environmental assessment and our associated findings.
Do you have the ability, since there's an emergency, to truncate or eliminate the public comment before you do the field trials, particularly in light of the fact that the particular modification of the mosquito has been tested in a number of countries in tropical environments?
Mr. Griffith, it's very important for us to go through the process and include the period of public comment. We need to give the public an opportunity to comment on the environmental assessment given the significant attention that this novel technology has generated, especially in the communities for the proposed sites. So it is true that there have been many field releases done, especially in Brazil. I learned more about them when I was there last week. The data seems to be promising in terms of reducing the mosquito populations in those small field trials. But we need to go through a process, and we are greatly expediting the process.
In light of the concerns in the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, is it possible to expand? Do you have the authority to expand and maybe look at a field site not only in Florida but also in Puerto Rico? And since you have not yet opened the public comment and you're going to go through that process, have public comment there as well?
So if the company and public health authorities of Puerto Rico were interested in that, we would be very supportive of the process. So the geography might be a little bit different from the field trial that is being proposed. So the company would have to submit the assessment for that, anything that may be different for the new field trial, but we will look to create efficiencies as much as possible.
Because as I understand it, it's been a multiple year, I want to say 4, but don't hold me to that, years in getting to this point. Would they have to go through that same process in Puerto Rico, or is there some way that we could shorten that time period up extensively so the tests could be going simultaneously?
Yeah. I understand that's the case, and what I can tell you is that this is being greatly expedited now, and I believe that where we are today in the process, that it would not be a protracted process to be able to rapidly assess the request for a field trial elsewhere.
All right, I do appreciate that. Dr. Fossey and Dr. Frieden, you all have been involved somewhat in this with the genetically engineered mosquito. How is your agency assisting the company that's developed this novel technology? It looks like it's, trials of 5,000 people, lots of mosquitoes. Looks like it's been about 90% effective in some of the areas it's been tried in.
We have a number of vector control experts who have consulted with the company and others, or listened to them as well as provided our input. I think one of the challenges is the issue of scalability. These particular mosquitoes don't fly very far, so you may have to release millions upon millions of them every short distance in order to get the knockdown. The other thing that's very important to understand is this mosquito is so tricky that even when we've seen very large knockdowns in mosquito populations, we haven't necessarily seen commensurate reductions in human infections. So it'll be important to look at both of those factors.
And while it could just be other factors, I do know that in one situation, some of the disease that they carry was knocked down substantially, but there may have been some other factor involved. It's hard to eliminate all the other factors as well. I do appreciate that as well. I do think it's something we ought to look at. It's pretty exciting stuff, and it's got to be a whole lot easier to release millions of mosquitoes than it is to go door to door with pesticides. Did you have something you want to say, Dr.?
Yeah, actually, we've been negotiating and discussing with Oxitec, the company that's involved with that, and looking at trying to make sure we correlate what Dr. Frieden was saying, the decrease in mosquitoes with actually a decrease in disease, because it may be that we don't really have that exact correlate. You really want to prove that before you start doing a massive thing, because scalability is really going to be a major problem, and you don't want to scale up unless you know it works.
And I have a follow-up question for you that's off subject, but U.S. Pharmacopoeia is looking at allergy injections for folks and trying to change some of those rules, and they may have some right, but have they consulted with you about that?
Allergy injections, nothing to do with Zika.
Nothing to do with Zika.
All right, excuse me.
But since you're involved with the Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, I thought I'd ask.
I'm sorry, Mr. Griffin. I was taken by surprise.
I understand. But they have not consulted with you?
Not to my knowledge. They may have consulted with my staff, but not directly with me.
If you need to think about that, you can get back to him on time. Thank you. Now recognize Ms. Clark for 5 minutes.
I thank you.